Welcome back, everybody. As you may recall, a couple of days ago I took after this quartz vein here, took out a few samples. Once I moved that big clump of rock, I went through and I picked out this little gravel and dirt underneath it, and that's what we're going to test today. We're going to see if there's anything in this connective tissue. Here's the material here in the bucket. And you know the first step, that's going to be grinding it up. Should I put on some more march music? No, I think I'll change it up a little today.
Just give me the cheese, I'll make it smoke it, yo. Smoke it, yo. It'll make me please, so don't provoke it, yo. Smoke it, yo. We don't need a space, so we're not gonna coke it, yo. Smoke it, yo. So to mind the teens, we gotta take it, yo. So when the city has been floating, don't provoke. Cause the way where it's smoking, it is soaking. Testing for the meditation. And the best I feel that Jamaican free. Now people supporting and promoting. Love the crack and the coking, every something. Everybody in the debate and the legalizing right. We walk it right every day. We be burning them and turning when nobody wanna say. We be burning dollars, turning how we mind it, how we pay. Some got gold and oil and diamonds, how we got it every day. Legalizing, I'm recognizing. This purple hazy make me crazy, make me ride up tune, and that's what makes me. I'm not the only occupation, going to get some effective education. When a farmer grows it enough to flow, the economical benefit and we know who are it. They are the hard struggling for the system.
Stop it! Stop it! Now! Maybe with the proper counseling we can work this out. Okay, with that said, we need to screen this stuff out now. Get all of the lumpy chunkies out of there. We just want the fine powder. So here you see me using my patented tapping method. Doesn't always work well, but it works sometimes. See, I'm getting it a little bit on the counter in front, but I just sweep that off into the container. And we're going to put this stuff into a beaker and start processing it. First off, we're going to give it a good water wash. Get out the silty stuff. We're going to keep the silty stuff on the side just in case it has some gold in it. We're going to test that later on. Let it settle. And then we'll pour it off into this little container here. Pour it off nice and slow. You don't want to wash off any of your good material into a waste container. And here we go for a second water rinse.
That's not making rings yet.
I am getting some black floaty material in here, but I think that's more organics. Time to play with acid. You know what that means.
And condoms.
Dumbass, you got the glove on backwards. You got to put the thumb on the thumb side of the glove.
Get the thumb on the right side.
Okay, for the first step we're going to do a muriatic acid wash. Going to clean out some of this ore here, or some of this sample. Just the muriatic acid alone will not absorb the gold or dissolve the gold, so no problem here. And of course, putting it on the heat will accelerate the process, so to the heat we go. Don't forget to close the safety door. Now, because we have quite a bit of material in here, we have to go in and stir it from time to time. Using a large beaker prevents the material from stacking up too deep. Who wants to lick the spoon? Kids, don't you love them? Now I found some really cool lids here for my nitric acid bottle and for my muriatic acid bottle, although it already has one on it, or at least a skull and crossbones. This stuff is nasty. Don't drink it. Back again to stirring. Well, the solution is starting to look pretty dirty and gross, so I guess it's time to change the muriatic acid. Put in some nice fresh HCl. So here we're going to pour it off into our Beakerator 2000. That's my 2-liter beaker. Used it on the weekend as my beer mug. And remember, this is chemistry. Don't huff the fumes. Well, it's looking a little better. Time to put in the fresh HCl, hydrochloric acid, or muriatic acid. You can buy this stuff at most hardware stores. I prefer to get the clear stuff. The yellow stuff is more for pools. It has some iron dissolved in it, and that helps prevent the acid from attacking the metal in the pool.
It's already dirty. It's already dirty looking.
Using a watch glass is recommended. It helps you preserve your acid so it doesn't all evaporate. It will condense on the glass and drip back down into the solution. But when you take it off, tip it to the side and wipe off the edge, because you will get a drop. You don't want to drip a bunch of acid all over the place. Now this is in a fume hood, so the fumes are being extracted. I'm not inhaling them. Oh, again with the stirring. What's with all the stirring? Well, our solution looks like it's about ready. We'll be taking it out and rinsing it again. This is our first water rinse. We've poured off the acid into our Beakerator 2000. And this will be our second water rinse. Let it settle for a little bit. Make sure we don't wind up pouring our good stuff off. Now it's about time to mix up our Aqua Regia and start pulling some gold out. First we put in some hydrochloric acid. I'm going to use about 100 milliliters. Cover up the material and give us some solution to work with. And then we locate our nitric acid. There it is. Now we're going to use our rabbit enema tube to measure out our nitric acid. We're going to put in 10 milliliters of nitric acid. And normally you want to add the nitric acid slowly. You don't want to create a runaway reaction. But in this case, I started slowly. I got nothing, so I just put it all in. I got a big enough beaker to contain a runaway reaction. So we'll let this cook for a little bit. Monitor it and stir it from time to time. And now, Deep Thoughts on Mining with Swami Shral. Welcome back, everybody. I am very happy to being back. I am trusting everybody had a good holiday season and made it into the new year. If you didn't make it into the new year, well, I am very sorry. Throughout time and through the annals of man, it has been well noted that many people have made many mistakes. Some not so bad, some very bad. But the one thing they hold in common is they all began with a good thought. Yes, a good thought led to trouble. So keep in mind that every stupid mistake begins with a good thought, and sometimes it could be said a smart man is one who does not think at all. Thank you very much. Have a good day. This has been Deep Thoughts on Mining with Swami Shral. And now a word from our sponsor. Bear Whiz Beer, the finest these mountains have to offer. My grandpa always told me, son, it's in the water. That's why it's yeller. Bear Whiz Beer. And now back to our regularly scheduled show. I bet you can't guess what I'm going to do now. Yeah, I'm going to stir it some more. So this is what we're shooting for today. On the left, you see we're going to be testing for silver. In the middle, you see we're going to be neutralizing with urea. And on the right, we're going to be neutralizing with sulfamic acid. Here we have our urea and sulfamic acid neutralizers ready to go. So our solution should be ready now. We'll pull it off here and get it back on the bench. There it is. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's still in the beaker. That's a good thing. So we're going to use our vacuum flask and a Buchner funnel to filter this material. Just looks kind of gross right now, so we're going to see if we can clean it up, get out some of the solids. This fluid is coming out pretty clear. Quite pleased with the result. This is the material that we trapped in the filter. A lot of fine quartz particles, some other crap. I don't know. Let's pour this stuff out and see what we've got. Look at that. It looks like a horse urine sample. Look at that. Clear, clear. Well, we're going to split our sample here into our test tubes. 10 milliliters per test tube. For our silver test, we're going to be using a piece of copper and dropping it into this solution. Hopefully any silver that is in solution will plate out onto the copper and then settle to the bottom of the test tube as a white flatulent powder. And we are now inserting the copper into the solution. As you see, our copper is doing nothing. Well, maybe later. Okay, onward and upward. We're going to use sulfamic acid to denox our sample on the right. Introducing sulfamic acid now. And then we're going to introduce some urea into the sample on the left. Introducing urea now. Now we'll grab each sample and give it a shake. Mix it up good. Let it sit for a moment and do its job. Ooh, look, our silver test is doing nothing. Oh well. Alright, time to add the stannous chloride to our two samples, testing for gold. First adding to the test tube on the right. And now stannous into the urea. And now it's time to shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Now that one went clear. And so did that one. You know what that means? No gold for Mr. Old. Maybe next time. Wait a minute. Does that look a little purple to you? No. How about this one? Yeah. Nothing. Ooh, but look, our silver test, it hasn't done crap either. Well, I've got the rest of this solution here. What should we do? Toss it? You know what? I'm going to push on. We'll denox it and put in some SMB, sodium metabisulfite, and see if we can precipitate some gold. Don't have much of a hope in it, but what the hell? I got chemicals. I might as well use them. So we're denoxing with sulfamic acid. And of course, we got to give it a stir. And now we put in the SMB and hope for precipitate. Ooh, nice cloud form there. But it's not turning dark. If there was gold in there, the SMB would cause the gold to precipitate out into a black powdery substance, and that solution would turn dark. All I'm getting is foam. Maybe if I keep adding SMB, it will turn into gold. Please. Yeah, what could I expect? My other tests showed that there was no gold in this solution, so of course I shouldn't get any gold out. Sorry kids, the trip to Bermuda is off. Enough! They may not be well behaved, but they're well trained. Hey, let me look at this stuff. Bear Whiz beer, huh? I wonder. It looks about right. I'll give it a taste. Oh God, that stuff's awful. Acids are not for internal use. Well, we didn't find any gold today, but we went through the process and we proved that there wasn't any gold, at least not in that sample, so I'd call that a win. Well, have a good one. See ya!